Good afternoon. It's Thursday, May 14th, I believe. Let me let you get caught up with what I did yesterday. I didn't video it. I really hadn't planned on doing what I did, but I planned on just coming out and trying to get my smoker started here. I was just planning on coming out and get my feed the mating nukes. Put some sugar water in there. Well, they didn't need to be fed. I mean, none of them did. So I really didn't have to take much time to do that. So what I did instead is I checked them. Well, the little teal hive that was kind of on life support anyway, it's done. I found a dead queen in there. It looked like a dead virgin queen. So evidently, when I put those bees and brood in there the other day, they killed her. Well, in the process, most of the bees from that hive absconded. They probably went back to the original hive, and there was maybe 30 bees in that, so it's for all practical purposes it's dead. There are 2 laying queens. They're both marked now that I know of, because I marked one of the queens yesterday too. That other one that I couldn't find the other day in that second hive, I marked her yesterday, so I have 2 laying queens. Those 2 today are going to get put in nuke boxes. I've got a bunch of drawn out comb. Some of it's kind of janky from some dead outs, but at least I have some drawn out comb that can give them a kick start. And I'll also give them either an empty frame or with plastic foundation, or give them a starter strip. Depends on what I have here. I know I've got one starter strip, and I've got a bunch of empty frames with foundation. So I'm gonna put those in nuke boxes. I still didn't find a queen in that third hive, so I still don't know. Actually, it looks like there was no queen in that hive, because I've got it turned around to red. So if I'm not mistaken, there was no queen in that hive that I could find at all. No eggs. So I'll put that around the red. The next one actually has a virgin queen in it. She looks like she may have already mated. She's kind of big. So I put that on yellow. I don't know yet on that if she's going to be. If she hasn't already gone on her mating flight, don't know if she'll get back or not. But the little teal hive, it's dead. But today what I'm doing is I'm pulling these honey supers, because they do have some sugar water in them. I know that for a fact. There are a lot of activity right now, so the flow is on heavy, hard and heavy. And I didn't realize I had that many honey supers on these hives. There's more than I thought. But I just brought 1 honey super per hive back here. So when they fill these up, it will be 100% unadulterated nectar honey. I don't want to be one of those people who put sugar water honey in their honey. I will extract that today, and I will feed it back to the bees this fall. I'm probably going to have to put it in a room with a dehumidifier for a while to try to draw some of the moisture off the honey, but that's no big deal. I've done that before. But that's really what's on plan today. While I use a fume board to get the bees out of the supers. I'll do the big one first. I'll douse the fume board pretty heavy with the bee gone or whatever it's called, and I'll put it on the big hive. That's the only hive that I haven't checked since queen cells. We have queens. Should be a virgin queen in that hive now. should be. The other one had a virgin queen in it. She should have already mated and gotten back. I haven't checked on her yet. The other 2 hives are queen right. One of them is the one I'm going to graft off of. I've got a bunch of stuff ordered for queen rearing that I really hadn't had before. So, you know, queen cages and that kind of thing. Just in case, because if I get out here, if the weather keeps doing all this weird stuff that like it's doing now, and I get out here and the queens are supposed to hatch on a day where it's raining and I can't get into the hive, then I'm going to have to put queen cages on the queen cells. So I had to get queen cages, and I had to get, you know, all the stuff that's needed for that. So that is. But I'll put the fume board on the big hive, douse it down real good, then I'll come over and I'll do the exchanging the hive, put the hive in the nuc, the mating nuc hive, 2 of those in nucs. Then what I'm going to do with those 2 when I pull those bees, double checked to see how David at Barnyard Bees does it, which is what they're kind of modeled after, is his mating nucs. He just leaves the bees that are in the box. He takes the frames out, puts them in a nuc. Leave the bees in the box, give them a little smoke so the pheromones, everything is are all messed up. Take a frame of brood from another hive with eggs and larvae and, you know, all the stages. Put it in there, let them raise a queen. Of course, it's going to be 30 days before they raise a queen, before you get a laying queen back. But at least that'll get them kicked off, and I don't have to worry about repopulating those mating nucs, because right now my big problem with the mating nucs is there's not enough bees in them to keep warm the brood that I've been putting in there. So I'm just basically killing bees. So that's what's going to happen today. While I'm pulling honey supers and the fume board is running the bees out of the hive, I'll be doing that and checking those 2 queen right hives for some brood, some young larvae, eggs, and brood that I could put in those 2 hives. Probably do 1 frame from each hive, and that way I don't have to worry about taking too many resources from either hive. But that should be all there is to this. Hopefully, if you know anything about these videos, about the way things go around here, plans change in a heartbeat. So that's I'm gonna get my stuff on. We'll get started. See these bee parts on top of the hive here? That means birds. Usually a summer tanager. I think that's the way it's pronounced. It's a little red bird. I've had trouble with them in the past. This is nothing. I've had hundreds on top of the hive before, but yeah, this time there's nothing really to speak of on there. I mean, there's just a few on all the hives. Yeah, so all right, let's smoke this bunch. Lots and lots of activity on this hive. It's like it was yesterday. There was a ton of activity, and I kept thinking, man, I got to get those honey supers off. So that's what we're doing today. Let's do this one. I don't really need to go through that hive. It was had a queen cell in it. That's why we I don't want to get into it right now. I'm gonna put that fume board on there and go move that mating nuc. Oh, they're starting to cap that. I wasn't expecting that to be capped. Oh, wonderful.
Yeah, they're starting to cap that. That's going to be a problem. Okay. This stuff actually smells pretty good to me. Evidently the bees don't like it for nothing. It will run them out of a honey super. Telescoping cover on my little cart here. I'll put when it runs the bees out of the box, I'll put the box here, put another cover on top of it so the bees can't get into it. And then I'll work my way down with my fume board, unless I see that they've run them out of a couple. I don't figure it's going to run out of them all three at one time. I might get lucky and have it run all the bees out of two of them. To be honest with you, fume boards really had never worked that well for me. They have worked, but not that well. And I forgot to bring my little blower or my bee brush. So I really need them to get all the bees off of the frames and that. No, I'll just leave all the bees in that box while I move them, and then I will yeah. So I need to go pick out which box is I'm going to use for this bunch. This is the box. I think I'm going to use this one for my queenless starter colony. When I do my grafting, I'm going to use this box for that. So these two boxes are what I've got right now, which is good because I've got two that need to be transferred. So I'll use the yellow one for this first hive. All right. And let's see what kind of so there's two, which means I'll need 3 more frames, and I want one frame of empty, one empty frame there for them to start drawing out. So maybe I can find two of the janky, not too janky, but there's one. That one's been started drawing out. That'll work. That one right there will work good. 2, 3. Okay, so now I need to transfer those. And when I got in here yesterday, none of the hives needed to be fed. They're not using sugar water or the syrup at all. Not at all. So look at that. That's the way I want to see it right there. I want to see it overflowing with bees. Yeah, that's a good strong colony right there. That'll do good. And I'll take the 2 frames and leave all the bees that didn't get on the frames. Need my other hive tool. Could have brought some smoke too. Definitely don't need to roll that queen now. That would be a disaster. But I do want to make sure I get her. Yeah, look at all that brood. It's good. She's filling in everything that they're not trying to fill up with honey, which is pretty much everything at the moment. And since this flow is hit just like it is, I don't figure it's going to take them very long at all to fill this box. And golly, that's full of honey. Alright, where'd she go? Tell me she's in that box. I really need her to be on one of these frames. There she is. Oh, she just went on the other side of the frame. Yep, that's her right there. So, that can move. Put that right there. Maybe they'll start using that. Well, they're already on this frame. Okay. I'm going to try to put this one in between the frames they had already drawn out. Don't have to worry about squishing the queen because she's on that other frame. Oh. There we go. There's one. Okay. And all the foragers that come back will probably come back to that other hive, which will keep that population. Yeah. So there we go with that. This bunch actually started using this feeder, finally. I don't know what triggered that, but when I checked them yesterday, they had started using the feeder. Okay, so I need one starter strip's what I want in here. I'll put a starter strip and then I'll give them a frame of brood from another hive. I'm gonna leave that out for now. Yeah, this is the hive where I went through yesterday and marked that queen. I finally found her and marked her. I didn't think I was ever gonna find her. Yeah, that was just almost as strong as the other one was. Almost. It's close. Let's get this one here. Make sure there's no wasp. There's a wasp nest. Okay, so move that one down. Watch here. Leave the they're putting honey up in that. I was kind of hoping she'd be laying in it, but they're putting honey up in it. Well, there's not many bees on the sides on this one. I might be in trouble. No, there's a little few of them. There's some brood. And there's some brood. And where's the queen? I did mark her. I don't know how much blue I got on her though. So she may not. Hopefully I didn't. Hopefully it wasn't one of those things where, you know, marking the queen. I've heard stories of marking the queen and then the bees killing her because they thought something was wrong with her, but hopefully that didn't happen. And she was the one that was hiding from me whenever I found her. She was crawling under a bunch of bees, and there should be a little blue mark on her back. Okay, well, she shouldn't be this hard to find. She really shouldn't. And they may have cleaned all the blue off of her after I put it on her. Oh, that's thunder. Oh, the last thing I need is for it to start raining now that I've got this thing open. I've got these hives open. Oh, come on. There's got to be. I want to make sure I got the queen. Two reasons. One, I don't want. There she is, right there. She's on that one. Okay, that's cool. That's good. All right, so that's there. Give them some. Give them that they can draw out. That one had a little bit of dirt dauber damage on it too, so. And then I'll give them some janked up comb. That's actually got some. I'm gonna do this. See if they can fix that. That's kind of moldy. Looks like I may regret putting that in there. Come on, there. That might have been a mistake. That one wasn't quite as strong as the other one was, so it may not have been such a good idea. But it's done. And there's several bees in there, and if I combine those with the ones that I take out of the other hive, I think it'll work out good. And these can get to working, get to growing. Okay, so that's queen right, and that's queen right. Hopefully they, and there again, foragers coming back from foraging will help that population too. Okay, so now I gotta find a frame from each one. I need to find a frame of brood out of this hive without taking the queen. This is the good queen that I'm planning on grafting off of too, so I don't need to mess her up really. At least I brought smoke this time, because they're not going to be happy with me taking their honey. That one super there, I'm surprised they've already capped it. Well, the good thing about it, if it's capped, I don't have to worry about trying to get all the moisture off of it, because they've already done it. So that'll save me some time. Hopefully I can do that one box there and put it straight into a bucket and seal it up, because just from my limited experience so far, they're almost capped that. That's full, but it's not. Oh yeah, it's close to full. Yeah, that's close to full too. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I may end up having to close these things up and get the heck out of here for a while. I don't like lightning. My family has a history with lightning, and ooh, that's one thing that scares the you know what out of me, is lightning. And I don't like it. And I'm holding a dadgum metal. I'm holding a metal hive tool in my hand and one on my hip. Well, actually one not on my hip, because there it is right there. Oh, I really need to get out of these hives. The Nuc box, or the Nucs box, would be a perfect one to pull, but I need one that's got. Larva and brood. Oh, please don't start storming. Oh, here we go. Here comes the rain. Crap. Yep, here comes the rain. I gotta get out of this hive. It's really gonna make them mad now. I'm gonna have to get out of this and get in the truck for a little while, probably.
To the places you can go in the
okay.
Yamaha Colonies.
Yeah, it's just gonna last for a few minutes and then it's gonna be over with. So as soon as it stops raining, then I can get back out there and get finished with it. All right, just hang on. I will too. Still waiting on it to quit raining. The sun is shining and it's raining. You know what that means? It means it's gonna be like a sauna outside. But I think there's still one more little cell supposed to come through, and then it's supposed to clear off. So I'm hoping it doesn't take long, because I really would like to get this done today. Okay, I got just a few minutes before that hits, and I'm gonna see if I can't maybe get that one hive, get the honey supers off that one big hive, and get that empty super on it. They're really not going to be happy with me being here now. Actually, I got an idea. Why don't I? Goodness gracious. Goodness gracious. Okay. This is what we're going to do. Oh, I'm going to put this there, and hopefully that will push those bees down into that box. Really, if the sun would come out now, it helps heat this fume board up and helps push them out of the hive, push them down. That's why it's painted black. I don't have my smoke, which is a problem because they're not going to be happy with me being in these hives. My smoke is in the truck. Really? Now it's going to start raining again. Now that I've got this hive open again, it's going to start raining. They're really going to get sick of me. Now the sun's going to come out and it's going to rain. Oh yeah, here it comes.
Alright, I'm back at it. It's the same day. Rain went through, now the sun's shining, which means it's going to be hot. Another thing that I discovered as I was sitting in my truck, that second time I went out, had a bunch of mad bees, and there was a bee I thought was on the outside of my veil. Well, she was on the inside of my veil, and she stung me right on the side of the face. And I have discovered that I have a small tear in my veil that I didn't see, and it's hard to even find, but the bees found it, so I'm going to have to be very vigilant about bees in this area here, because they will find that hole. Hopefully I can use enough smoke and get in and get out of these hives as quickly as possible, and I don't have to worry about it. I'll have to figure something out about a veil though, because I can't find I usually carry some duct tape with me to cover stuff like that, just as for an emergency, and I can't find any of it. So this is going to be fun. I've already got mad bees out here, and look, they're looking for a way in. So it's going to be interesting. Okay, I don't think I need that. Let's go ahead and get these honey supers done.
Okay, since the sun's popped out, it has run most of them down out of that box, so I can take this box off and put it in there. Put it there. This is a cluster, a total cluster. And I don't mean good cluster like a cluster of bees. I mean a cluster like the drill instructors used to call it, a cluster. The third time that I've been in this hive. They're really going to be sick of me. Golly, look at all the pollen on that. That'd be a good pollen frame for my starter colony. But I also want to keep it. There's a lot of pollen in that. But I want to. It's a lot of pollen and a lot of honey. But I want to keep pollen. I don't think I'm going to use this one as a finishing colony after I get the grafts off of it too. So come on. Woo. That is full. They have drawn that out, thank goodness. Finally. It looks like a drone going on. I can't see eggs in there. I couldn't see eggs in there if I had to. There's a queen right there. Hopefully this one right here will be the perfect frame. It's got capped brood and most of it's honey though. And they're backfilling all that with honey. I can't see any eggs or larvae. I mean, there's some little bit of larvae in there where it's about ready to be capped, but there's, come on, get out the way. Oh, gosh. Whoa, look at that brood pattern. Golly. That's not what I'm looking for. That's nice, but that's not what I'm looking for. Actually, the Nucs box, if it had what I need, I know it's got larvae because it's full of larvae the other day. Capped larvae. I don't know if there's going to be much in the way of eggs. See, all that's getting filled back up with honey. They're backfilling everything. They're backfilling everything with honey and pollen. Really need to find some eggs in here. I'm afraid they're going to get honey bound though, because that's what it looks like they're doing now. They hadn't even drawn that out yet. They cleaned it up. Yeah, that was one of those nasty frames that had all the wax moth damage. I've only got 2 left, so hopefully this one's got eggs on it. No, they're backfilling it. Golly, that's all honey. I'm gonna have to split this one soon. I'm hoping that I can there's one that she could lay in. Well, if they wouldn't fill it up with freaking honey. Oh, come on. Well, that's So what I'm gonna do now, I still gotta find a frame of eggs. This is ridiculous. The queen was on this one. There she is right there. I got a feeling she's laying or trying to lay anyway. Oh, finding these eggs are going to be hard. It's going to be hard. She's really looking for a place to lay. Oh, do I see eggs? Is that what I see there? I can't see, the sun's down there. Well, I don't want to drop her either. Okay, what I've done, I took that frame, my battery died, but I took that frame out of that hive that the queen was actually on, and because I actually watched her lay some eggs, so I puffed some smoke in there to jack up all the pheromones and stuff, and put that frame in there because I know it has eggs on it. So hopefully here in a few days they'll be making some queen cells. Now I got to get into that other hive and find one the same way. And I also need to get some frames to put back in this hive. Gonna give them this here. The Nucs box has got so much capped brood on it, I really can't afford to take it out. I'm gonna put this one, golly, right back there. Alright, so this one's gonna be, oh man, I got them mad too. Alright, I need to put an empty honey super, whoops, on this, so they'll start drawing it out. And well, it's drawn out, so they'll start filling it up. Hopefully they'll bring some of that honey up from the bottom. I really need to paint that. That one ain't even been drawn out yet, so I don't need to move. I just need to take the other one and put this one back. This one's not even full, but what little bit it's got in it's probably got sugar water in it, so I don't want to. Alright. Well, it looks better than it did the last time I was in here. Starting to draw that out nicely. That one still hasn't been drawn out. Looks like it's beginning to be drawn out, but not nearly enough. Wow. Well, at least there's some eggs and larvae in here. They're backfilling that with honey though. But there are eggs and larvae in it. Yeah. So I just need to make sure that the queen is not on here. She should have a green dot, so she shouldn't be hard to find. But I want to make sure, I want to lay eyes on her first so I don't take her by accident. She looks like she's getting ramped up. She's starting to, ooh, hello. That one may be even better. Problem is they're trying to backfill it all with honey, so she doesn't have any place to lay. That one wouldn't be a bad one either, but I don't want it. That one's not even all the way drawn out yet. Golly. There's, no, that's not brood, that's just wax. That was one of those, really, there she is. I see her on the next frame. She's right down there, so I'm not even gonna bother her. I'm gonna take, which one am I gonna take? Am I gonna take this one? No, that one's got too much room for her to lay in. So I think I'm gonna put that one there. That one hasn't been drawn out yet. This one has almost been drawn out all the way. I think I'm gonna take this one. I see larva. Yeah, and I see very young larvae, and I mean the kind that they can make a queen out of. So this one's going with me. Ooh, I don't even have another frame in there yet. There wasn't enough bees to worry about smoking too much in there. Get off the side there. Give that plenty of room so they can draw queen cells on whichever side they want to. Both sides preferably. Okay. That one's good. So hopefully in a few days they'll be drawing out queen cells. All right. let's do red and yellow because they're making a queen. That one is not queen right as far as I know. This one's got a virgin in it that we don't know if she's made it or not. Okay, this part of it's done. Now I just got to get these honey supers off of here. Okay. Now, I don't know what the deal was with that. I had to take the battery out and put it back in. Right.
Your cell phone has just issued a text from your wife.
Wow, this is one that they really didn't have the comb, and they were needing to draw it out. I'm hoping that they've drawn it out. They hadn't drawn that out. They cleaned that up, but they hadn't drawn it out. And they cleaned that up, but hadn't drawn it out. That's all honey and nectar, or pollen. Oh, golly. Honey and pollen. That's blank. Nothing. Hadn't drawn that out either. That's got wax all over it too. There's no reason for them not to draw that out. That's being drawn out. This is one that had, I think, had the virgin queen in it. Yeah, this is the one that had the virgin queen. So if I find a queen this time, hopefully we'll find eggs and larvae. Oh, howdy. This is... I ought to put this bunch in a 5-frame nuke. That's what I ought to do. If I find her and she's laying, I might actually do that. There's a bunch of pollen and honey. No larva. This is not making me feel good. This may be the first bunch that I put in a Pro Nuke box, because I think that's the one that got left. Oh, looky, looky, looky. There is larva. Yes, there is larva. Now, if I can find that queen. Holy smokes, look here. Is that a queen cell? Is that another queen cell? No. Don't tell me that. Boy, it sure looks like one. Doesn't look like a good one though. It looks kind of like a janky, weird. There's larva here though. I can see larva. So we need to find the queen, and I'm not going to worry about marking her, but I just want to make sure that that I find her. Oh, goodness gracious. And they're all climbing all over each other. Had the last couple queens that I've tried to find that were like that. They were just climbing all over her, all over her back, and hard to find. Yeah, there's a lot of larvae in there. She's back from her mating flights, and she's laying. Alright, let's move this one. Let's see if we can find her on this other. I think this other one had comb that she could actually lay in, so she's maybe on there laying too. Yeah, I think this bunch needs to go in a 5-frame nuke. Holy moly, look at all the pollen. Good gosh, that is full of pollen. I mean, absolutely. There she is right there. Right there. She's looking for a place to lay. And I'm fixing to put them all in a 5-frame nuke because this is way too much. Let's see if I can find her again, make sure. Okay, she was on the other side because that side was full of pollen. And where'd she go? Where'd she go? Where'd she go? Where'd she go? Don't tell me she jumped frames or jumped off the frame. She's trying to find a place to lay. There's a drone. There she is right there. Right there. Because she's going in there. Put that right there. I'm gonna scrape this comb off the bottom of this. Oh. This one is being drawn out so they can use that. Oh! This one, I'll give them that one to work on. That's 4. And this one is being drawn out, so we'll give them that one too. The rest of it, I don't want to. So she's laying. So we're queen right here. I gotta remember to open this Pro Nuke though. Okay. Open the Pro Nuke. Okay. Actually, this probably needs to be in there because of the pollen and the honey. Yeah. Up. It may not be long before these go back into a full